Good day, everybody. Welcome back. This is part 2 to Rafting with B. In our last video, we did make our last set of earrings, and we actually got our here, and this is the one I was doing. So this was kind of like the one that we made with the double kind of ends. So in case if you're watching this in the double, like on a different day. So just remember, this is just one earring. You want to make double, so follow the steps again, make 2 earrings for that one. Now we won't do it in this video because I want to kind of cut it down to short so that you kind of do this on your own time and whenever you have. So today we're going to go ahead and make our secondary pair of earrings. So we got this one here, which I showed, and this will be kind of like looks like a little starfish, I guess you could say. Now we won't do them in the red because, like, I did do a red pair. We're going to do a couple different varieties. I do got blues, I do got pinks, but I don't got too many like colors, like, so you want to be careful with the size of beads. You don't want to be doing it the big, huge, bulky earrings. I mean, you could, but it's really tricky to get them kind of like to look right. Now, I do have that kind of like the one color I was using, like these here. These are like the seed beads. I think like you could buy them like at the dollar store in case if you didn't catch it in my last video. And most times you could get them things like Michael's, whatever, if you have a Michael's in your area. Most jewelry shops do have a crafting corner. You just have to pick up a few supplies like you're going to need. Again, you're going to need your beading wire, you're going to need your pliers and stuff like that. And also too, you're going to need your earring clasps. And I got a couple here just because I didn't want to have to keep sorting through all my stuff to get this. So depending on the style you're going to aim in, we could do everything from everything. Now, I do have kind of like some beads like this. Now, we're not going to use the larger half of those beads if we were to use these ones, because it'd be more of an interesting kind of style. I do have some more, so kind of like, these are glow-in-the-dark versions. So you can see that. I hope I got that in frame. I do have like most of my charms on there, so because I was trying to sort them out, and it was getting crazy trying to find what I needed. I do have some green ones, but what I learned from doing that, and this is just on my own, I had a hard time threading it through, but then again with my hand, it was very hard to kind of thread it and kind of get that wire to kind of stay straight when I was trying to deal with it. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I do have some right here. These are the beads. I think these are 3 millimeters? 3 millimeters? Yeah. 2 to 3 millimeters. I know it's around there. I do have 4 millimeters and stuff like that. I do also have these particular ones. Now, we're not going to use these ones because they're a little bit too big, I feel, for this particular craft. I wouldn't go too hard on like thickness if you want to aim for a style. Like, I mean, you can, but it's just more for like trick for me to do. I mean, you could just find a few videos out there that might be able to help you with that, so be sure to check them out. I know there's some lovely crafters out there who've done some beautiful like jewelry and stuff like that. I don't have a lot of money, so I kind of don't have some of the stuff that they do to kind of like show you some of these things. And I would need some actual aid tools to kind of like make those videos for you, but I will try in the future to get those out for you. So going just simple today, we're just going to make the very simple ones, and we're going to make the same kind of things. These are going to use the same seed beads, and we're going to make a different color of these particular ones here. Like I say, and it's like a very nice earring, like, you know, you can add it, you can even make it if you can get like the fish for it. Like, I do have some fish kind of like clasp, but be careful with it because like it's not that type of earring. Like, I personally feel not to say it isn't. There is a lot of videos out there that it can and it will work and stuff like that. I am kind of feeling not well a little bit because I'm really wondering why I'm scratching again. I got the scratching feeling. I did have thyroid cancer, if anybody who's new to the channel. I did have my surgery. It is right here. They did remove my thyroid fully, so I kind of like, if you see scratching a lot, it's because I'm either too warm or too cold, or environmental now affects me quite drastically. So I do apologize for that. And we did have some fires close by in the United States from where I am. So yeah, I've been feeling some of that pressure from that. Don't worry, I'm safe. Nothing's going to happen here. We're good to go. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start with our craft, and we're just going to enjoy that for today. So we're gonna need about probably, I would say about 30 beads, roughly. Just get a little pile. Don't upset your table. I've done it. I've actually had my cat jump on the table while I've been crafting, and I actually made one video and I had to delete it because the cat came up and she started swatting everything off the table. And then I ended up having to cut my videos really short because and then I had to delete it because she made a whole mess, and I had to kind of move her away from where I was kind of crafting. And then I forgot to re-record, and I thought I was still recording, and then I was like, okay, well, I made a craft, it's done now. Anyway, so I won't go into much in that. She is a lovely girl. I got my one cat, she's really a sweetheart. And I got my kitten, so she's doing well too. Right now they're both napping, so I want to have some fun. Okay. So, like all my videos, I want to say is just make your loop. Now, for this earring in particular, just be careful because you want to be focused on what end is going to be your main for your hook. Now, see, when I get kind of making this, you're going to have little things at the end to kind of loop because you want to bring that through. But at the same time, you don't want the beads being popped off when you're trying to do it. So, just make it very simple. I don't want to keep my intros too long on you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to push, twist, turn. Now, there we go. This will be the end that we're going to use for putting our hook on. And that's the one you're going to have to pay attention to. You may want to put some type of marker tape or something if you want to do that, because, I've actually done that more what was I doing again? So this one here is an 8 seed per side bead. You don't have to necessarily put 8, but I wouldn't go under 5 if I read most times, because it just kind of throws it off. So I think with this one we're going to do about a 6 per side kind of bead, so it's a little more easier for me to kind of show you. So we're going to get 6 of our seed beads, and we're going to just start slipping them on. Now this is a mixed pink set, as I kind of didn't have enough room. I need more bead kits and stuff like that. So I kind of just stirred up, but I mean, it's still going to look lovely all the same. 3, 4, okay, 5. I just don't want to get too distracted and just keep going. All right. So once you get it, we're just going to do it, and this is our first step, and this is where we're going to start getting an understanding on how this works. So we're going to go there. Everything else, so we're going to put there. And if anybody was worried, I didn't need treatment after my removal. I got fortunate. But I am keeping up with my health. I'm keeping checks-ups really regular on that. I don't want to play around with that again. It was quite scary for me. And shout out to anybody who has a family member who has it. Now my mom does. She had a very severe case in her, and it was really, really bad. She's gone through multiple chemos. She's lost all her hair. She's still pretty strong, but she's getting care now. So that's very fortunate for her. I still have her for a couple of years. I'm very fortunate he caught it, and he did. So now once you get about 6, this is where we're going to continue. We're going to have to repeat this step a few times. So once you get to your end, and we're just going to do a few loops. Oops. I get like that sometimes. I just kind of loop it off there. All right. There. And 6 there. We don't need to do 6 times. No, just a couple times. Just to lock off the end so it doesn't right around or stuff like that. So once you have it, you're going to have this a little step. So like I say, depending on the size you're going to aim for your star or whatever you're going to, I guess you could call it. This is where the step kind of comes in. So now what we're going to have to do is, when you get to the end, now different from the other ones, what we're going to have to do is kind of like that. So now we got this end looped off. Now here's the next step you're going to do. You're going to again throw 6 more beads on the wire again, and we're going to continue, and we're going to do a next step after this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. My phone is quite old, so if you kind of see me jumping around a bit, unfortunately my phone is quite old and it's a bit of a lag in most of my videos now. I'm looking to replace, but like finances are just not easy for me, so everything. So again, 1, 2, and we're just going to do about 3-ish. You don't want to overdo this. Give yourself a little bit of slack, not too much because you don't want it to be like too loose when you're going to be making this. Now, here's a step that is going to make how this earring is going to be folded and stuff like that. So you're going to take the end of your wire. Sorry. Now, keep it straight because this is where it's important. Now, through the top of that one bead that you just signed off on, we're going to come back all the way through. So just let me put this through so you can kind of get an idea. It sounds just a little stubborn. Come on. There we go. Sometimes it's adjusting it into 3, 4, 5, and come all the way through. And then you're going to push it all the way through to the end and pull through. Now, I would be careful when you're pulling through, like you're going to see it coming through. At this point, you would probably want to hold the end because you don't want it to kind of like pull off the bead. And you're just going to gently pull it through. So like kind of makes the end like snug, but it came through. Now we're not going to go through the first bead, like the first line of bead that we did. That's because that's going to be our main line for this one. So now we got 2. Now we're going to repeat that 5 times. So in total, there's going to be about 5 of these, kind of like, I guess you call them spikes. So we got 2 here, so about 3 more times. It would be kind of good. So we're going to put 6 more, 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And like, again, try to keep your ends like small as you can, stuff like that. So try to get like the tightest nose pliers as you can go, and try to keep that as tiny as you can because you don't want to mess it with your main one. All right. And we're going to again run it through. And anytime you're going to be watching this video, if you feel like you need to pause my video, please pause my video. Like you want to be sure to kind of like just make it in this style that is good for you. If you really want to get creative, you can even make it in multiple different colors as well. I do have a couple, like I said, a couple different colors, and so I won't be doing that, but you could do the same on your end. It's up to you. It's always good to have good creativity. Creativity is the limit for anybody of any age. Maybe you have a grandmother who might love to do this in the spare time. It's a great craft. I do even painting, so yeah. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a trick on this one. That's just because I hold it and do that. Just be careful of your end because it does kind of fray a little bit when you're doing this, so you want to be sure that it kind of is. If you find that your end is too frayed, just clean up the end a little bit and then kind of like everything. So we're going to again come down, come through, and we're going to go there. All right. Again, we got another one. There we go. And there we go. Usually you'll feel like a little kind of like clink when it pulls all the way through, so usually that's good. And we already got like 3 done, so like that's pretty good. You can see that's pretty nice. 2 more times and everything else, and then we'll just leave it like that, and then all you have to do is just again double it out. Anywhere from like 25-35 minutes is most crafts, stuff like that. especially with jewelry making. Some of these crafts are really easy to do. Like I said, I've shown a couple different varieties. Like the one I did, it was not too hard, since a little more for trickier. Like you have to be able, but again, I do have a problem with my hands, so like it might just even a little bit more struggling for me, but it's not for everybody. So, but yeah, use any seeds. Even share this video with a loved one if you want. Just to share, so they can actually have something day. You could do, like, it's a nice fun craft for everybody, you know. You know what? You share with even kids, like, you know. I try to keep my videos really kind of parent friendly. I do not post it on a kid kind of basis, because due to the fact that, you know, I worry about monetization and stuff like that. And I wouldn't even want to lose my channel at this point. I'm trying to help everybody to just enjoy some good videos, and trying to keep a lot of like the bad things out of it and stuff like that. I don't know if I've ever slipped up on any of my videos. That's why I kind of try to keep it to like kind of a more of a mature audience. But my beading videos are not like that, so you can share those with kids if you really want to, or maybe your son and daughter are with you right now. And this is a fun little craft to do. And so on a basis, how expensive is it? As most people might ask. To get some of the basic supplies, you're looking about 12 to 15 bucks, depending on your store, because some stores are more expensive. I know Michael's is a much more expensive. Go to your local, like I said, go to Michael's, go to Dollarama, Dollar Tree, if you have one in your area. Even if you want to, you can even go to some secondhand shops and get some like loose pack jewelry for like sometimes $5 or something, and just kind of disassemble them. Just be sure that there's nothing valuable, of course. You don't want to be doing that with like something that's worth like $45,000, okay? And I don't think I'll ever do that in this video or any other video. I don't think so. So yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't call it a cheater's way, but it's kind of more like what is more efficient, what is more kind of like to your pocket. So I know a lot of families that are watching this are probably struggling right now. So I know how hard it is. I know me and my husband have had that situation. Now I do have 2 kids. They do not live with me. They kind of live on their own, so which is kind of nice. I do visit both of them. So anyway, going back to this. I don't want to go too much into anything here. I mean, you can leave it like this at this point. I mean, you want X rings? X-Men? No. That comes from that one. Okay. So we're going to strip it down. And now we're going to, after this, put our last one in. And pretty much we're done. Yeah. I will be looking into trying to get a different device to stream on. Stuff like that. Like I said, my one phone is really old. It's the LG Velvet. Unfortunately, LG is no longer making phones, and it's kind of unfortunate for me because I love my phone a lot. It is one of the few things that kind of like you kind of like your phone too much, and you kind of don't want to give it up for any reason. Oh no, why am I stuck? Okay. See, here's what I meant by the end. Now, the end is a little frayed. Now, if it does happen again like that, just what I'm saying, don't nip up too high. Just take that end off. There we go. So now we got a fresh, clean end. See, what's happening is when you're threading it through, it does strip the kind of coated kind of wire. So if you're using plain wire, you're not going to have the same issue. But this is a coated wire to give it the kind of like that red color and stuff like that. So once it gets like that, just take the end off, because it saves you like most of the hassles and stuff like that. Just a little trick I had to learn to deal with. Now, keeping your wire as straight as possible, thread it all the way through, and to get down to that last bead if you can. There we go. And I'm just bending this earring down a little bit. It's going to look a little weird, but that's fine, because it is flexible. So You should be alright. There we go. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of love. There we go. There we are. Now for our last one, and then we can actually follow with our last steps. So this is how easy it can be. For some, it might be a little more of a struggle, but that's okay. You know what? We all have a little bit of problem with things when we kind of do some beading. So maybe you can't see the beads really well. I can understand that. Work with the bead that works for you. You can also buy some magnifying tools on Amazon, or you could go on Temu. I do know they have a few wonderful tools there as well. And just look around, just type in jewelry making kits, and most times they will have a bunch of different stuff on there. And just look up tools, and they should be able to give you like stuff. And it's relatively cheap. Like, I've seen Amazon getting a little too expensive lately, so I know that's not very nice at all. Now, this one bead is a double bead, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we just need one more. There you go. Now, we're not going to throw this one back up like the other one, because due to the fact like we've already done that for most of it, and it would just save. I mean, you could if you want at this point, but I'm just going to close off the end at this point. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3. And because this is a closure, I'm going to go 2 more times and everything else. Try to keep it as tight as possible. Keeps it really simple. And then we're just basically nip that house up. There we go. Yeah, I know it looks a little funky, but don't worry about that. That's okay. Because like I said, again, that's where kind of where the idea of the like it being more pliable and stuff like that. So basically, you can do that. And just adjust it. Some beads might get a little crooked. Don't worry about that. The beads are pretty resilient, so you could actually do that stuff. You could do seed beads. I got some seed beads. Where do I actually have my seed beads? Just to give you an idea. And now, I don't think those would be kind of more of a thing. Do I have them out? I don't know if I have my seed beads. No, I don't know where I left them. That's okay. We won't worry about that today, okay? And then there we go. We kind of got our pink, kind of same thing as this one. Different color. To make that in, again, follow through. And you're going to double this kind of like tutorial out for 2 pair. I'm just showing you how to make the one for now. So I'm gonna have to hold this down, turn it open. This is the end because it has the much bigger loop. Loop it in. Some of my earrings are stuck together, so I have to kind of like it. And put it in on. And let's make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, it looks tight enough. There we go. There you go. Isn't it lovely? So, like, you're going to make one. This is, of course, the pink one. I do have 2 of the red. Like most earrings, I'm just showing how to make one of the earrings. Like I say, you're going to have to do the same steps again to make a secondary earring, and so on and so forth. So this is not, like I say, very hard. This is more of like a medium difficulty. There are ones that will require like a lot of concentration. But you know, use a lot of thought, and when you're trying to decide on something that you want to do, like I said, you can make something so simple as this. Like this is, like I say, a sweetheart earring. It's really, really nice. So that's it for today. I really did want to get those videos out for you. Now I'm going to put all my bead stuff away before my cat decides she wants to go and play with everything. I heard my cat just get up, so I just want to get this all put away. Yeah. And I also, my kitten has gotten into the habit of her mother, and she kind of like eats the beading wire. I don't know what it is with the beading wire. I do feed him Purina, like indoor control, for food. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's just something different from the wire. Sorry about that. Okay, we're gonna drop it in there. I don't care at this point. So yeah. That's it. And we're, you know, if you're going to use your table like I am, I just recommend just give it a quick clean. Kind of put your stuff away. And even because you have been working with beads, just give your table a quick scrub down if you're still kind of like new trying to do beading, because sometimes you do get dirty and you kind of don't want to put your food on that. Anyway, so that's it. We have made now for a complete series. Earrings like this. This is kind of like more like I say the fancier-ish, I guess I would say, kind of ones and stuff like that. And we also made our other one, which is kind of like, kind of like this and stuff like that. And, kind of depending on what you want and stuff like that. I'll try to get a few more videos out for you and get those posted. I'll try to get these videos posted very shortly, so that way they could come out at once for a couple days, and then that way it works out for me. So, like I say, if you're looking at doing something like this particular one, just understand it's a little harder to find these type of beads. I ended up going to, I think it was Value Village in my area, and they happened to have a few old beading kits, and I just kind of grabbed them. I just said, well, $2 a piece. I thought, like, okay, well, I can deal with that. And then I ended up finding out they had a couple of those. I even had a couple of, like, do-it-yourself, like 1980s, 90s cards on how to make little jewelry purses, which is quite interesting because I haven't seen that like since like I've been 19 or so. So yeah, that just shows you how long and how old this bee is. So if you did like it, I do hope you like it. Just drop me a like and subscribe. And like I say, share it with your friends, share it with the grandparents if you think that they'd be able to enjoy this as well. And I'll even like put out a video on how to make some nice pretty little bracelets for them and stuff like that as well. Or maybe something for yourself, I'll actually repost on some of my newest creations, and I will actually show you just how big my collection got. I do apologize. A lot of it looks kind of scrambled because like I don't have big bags for them, and I'm ordering at the end of this month, currently as this video comes out, a plastic kit for some of my stuff because it has to be like relatively thick enough that my earrings won't be kind of crushed underneath all the weight and stuff like that. Anyways, thank you all for joining me, and I did hope you did enjoy an interactive beading course. And also too, like I said, I'll post another video in the future about this, and we can actually maybe make something like that. And that's really pretty much, like I say, pretty easy to make, so that'd be a good one. I'll even show like some difficulties on each of them so that you can understand which ones are going to be easier to make, kind of like what difficulty there will be. Some people might prefer that because due to the fact that some might seem a little too hard and too complicated for some people. But I want to make it fun. I don't want anybody thinking that these videos are just, too difficult to understand. So anyway, I'm going to spend my time. I'm going to be cleaning up for the next 25 minutes. But thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have yourselves a great day. Cheers!